Hello everybody and welcome to Tiger Tales, a place where you'll find stories and fanfictions written and read to you by host me, Tai Tiger. Today, however, we're diving back into Storytime with Cosplay Dude 637, a section of the channel where I allow my Parabatai best friend and business partner, Cosplay Dude 637, to upload some of his fanfictions and storylines on the channel. Now, currently we are re-uploading stories from his old podcast with the same title. We're currently going through the last storyline, which is Sword Art Online Dark Forest. So this chapter is a re-upload. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoy the chapter, and of course, check out the playlist dedicated with the same title, and you'll find all the chapters that Cosplay Dude has put on this channel so far. That being said, I give it to Cosplay Dude 637. Sword Art Online Dark Forest. Chapter 4. Get the 411.
I come to my room after logging out of ALO. Slowly, I remove my atmosphere and set up, and sigh. What am I going to do? They're all looking to me for answers, but I don't have any. Just then, my computer starts beeping, telling me I have a video call. I walk over, sit down, and click on the screen. Once I do, an image of a blonde boy with large rimmed glasses and burgundy shirt on appears on my screen. Hi there, I'm Jeremy Belpaw. I'm guessing you're Kazuto. Did I say that right? Jeremy asks. Yeah, that's me. It's nice to meet you, I reply. So, you had questions for me? Jeremy says. Oh yeah, I was hoping to get an introduction to the AI girl that you brought into the real world, I inquire. Oh yeah, she's right here. Jeremy answers, and the screen slides to the left, and there stands a young girl with pink hair and a huge, warm smile. Hi, I'm Aelita. It's nice to meet you, she says. It's very nice to meet you too. So, you were once an AI? I ask. That I was. I lived for a long time in a world called Lyoko. Till Jeremy and his friends saved me, that is, she explains. This Lyoko was a virtual world? I ask. The screen slides back to Jeremy. Yeah, it was being housed in a supercomputer. I kinda accidentally found it one day, Jeremy answers. I cross my arms and kick back in my chair. So, you think your tech will be able to get an AI from one of my worlds into the real one? I question. Jeremy's eyes seem to light up, and he smiles from ear to ear. It was a very dorky smile. Yeah, we can bring this, Yui, was it? To the real world. I just have a few more questions, but before I could finish my sentence, alarms began to sound all over by Jeremy. Zen is attacking! We have to get to Lyoko, a male voice says, very much out of breath. He must have been running. Dude, the school is in total chaos, says another male voice. Auric, Odd, get to the scanners. Sorry, Kazuto. We'll have to pick this up later, Jeremy says, and the screen closes. Damn it. I wanted to know how soon we could do this. I sit up and start typing on my computer, looking for flights from Japan to France. A few minutes into my planning and searching, there is a squeal from the living room. I jump up and bolt out of my room, straight into the living room. What I find about knocked me off my feet. In our living room stands Klein, and in his arms was Sugu. They were kissing. Hold on, that can't be right. I rub my eyes and look again. The image does not change. What's going on here, guys? Klein stood straight up. He looked stiff as a board. He slowly turns and looks at me, setting Sugu down, all in one motion. I say it was the most graceful I've ever seen him be, but, right now I was kind of seeing red. What seemed like a split second, I was standing in front of Klein, my fist buried in his stomach. I could hear Suguha yelling at me to knock it off, but I didn't care. All I knew in that moment, Klein needed to bleed. Suguha slapped me right across the face, knocking me out of my rage. What the hell? I stumble. Sugu gives me a look that dang near broke me. Kazuto, stop it. You just hit my boyfriend, Sugu says, anger streaming off of her. I just stood there, looking at her. The words that just came out of her mouth, they made no sense. Toshibo and I have been dating for a few months now, and he just asked me to marry him in game, she continues. Klein slowly stands up, groaning. I wanted to tell you, Kiri Dog, but Leafa asked me not to. She wanted to break the news to you herself, Klein says, the look of pain on his face. I know it was wrong, but the look made me very happy. Look, big brother, this is happening. Toshiba makes me happy, and I will continue to see him, and nothing you can say will stop me. And yes, I am going to marry him in ALO, Sugu barks. I was just so dumbfounded. Who is Toshiba? Sugu and Klein exchanged looks of confusion. Then my brain seemed to turn back on. Toshiba Ritoro is Klein's real name. So, are you going to tell the others? I ask. Quickly, their heads shoot down, and they are now staring at their slippers. I'm the only one that didn't know, huh? I respond. They both slowly shake their heads yes. So to recap, this is just a great day. I learned that Jeremy will be able to help me get my little girl Yui into the real world, and that my sister is now dating my best friend. Oh, and let's not forget, we've unleashed a world-ending god that is going to destroy Alfheim. My life can never be easy. 3 days later, we once again find ourselves in the log cabin of Asuna and I. The whole gang was there looking over maps and reading up on blogs, still desperate to learn all we can about Loki and this Ragnarok. My ALO is just steeped in mythology, from Nordic gods to legends of England, Ruin says, changing the page of the website he had pulled up on his holo screen. Yeah, that was part of the design. It was to pull all kinds of legends to keep updating quests and giving the players more and more to do, Leafa responds, and then shoots me a dirty look. We had not really been talking the last couple days. It was like living with a ghost. I saw her, but she only barked at me and then just stormed off, ignoring me completely. This must have been how she felt when I did this to her as we were growing up. Any luck finding the commander? Asuna asks. I just shake my head no. Where could he be? He has always helped us in the past, she adds, pouring herself some more tea. This is interesting, Sion says, holding up a hollow map. What's that? Silica asks. A new cave has just been found. It's called the Cave of Wonders? Why do I know that name? Sion asks. Ruin just lets out a barreling laugh and slaps the chair that he was sitting in. Everyone turns and looks at him. What? He asks, trying to now shrink down into that chair. What's so funny about the name? Leafa snaps. The Cave of Wonders. It's from Aladdin, Rin sheepishly answers. Aladdin? Sion slowly says. Yeah, it's a Disney classic. The cave, where the genie's lamp was hidden, Ruin explains. No, it's not that. I mean, yes, the name is from the movie, but it was not where I remember it from, Sion says. She starts vigorously looking through all the screens she had already pulled up. She lets out a squeal of delight. Got it! She shouts, holding up the screen. It was an MMO stream article. So, what's it say? I ask her. Deep in the Cave of Wonders, there lies the wand of the magical man that helped shape a kingdom of gold with a boy who turned king in a far-off land. Sion reads aloud. Kingdom of Gold sounds like my kind of place, Klein chimes in. El Dorado? Silica asks. That was not formed by a boy king, Leafa responds. No, but Camelot was, I shout, jumping to my feet. This sends a sleeping Pina flying into the air. Luckily, he's a dragon and was able to spread his wings in time and land on Silica's head. The little dragon hissed at me and gave me a very evil stare. Camelot? Silica, Liz, and Sion all say in unison. It's where Excalibur is from. King Arthur was a child king who pulled a sword from the stone, and with the help of his knights of the Round Table formed the Golden Kingdom of Camelot. But the knights were not the only ones that had a hand in helping him. He also had the help of a powerful wizard by the name of Merlin, I explained. Then, the wand that they're talking about in the article, it has to be the wand of Merlin, Asuna says, smiling brightly. That's a legendary item. It's said to give the wielder double the spell power, Leafa explains. That's not all. Teamed with my sword, it will triple all our attacks and magical casts, I add in. So, we have to do this quest, Klein says, smiling. Yes, it would help Asuna big time. Leafa smiles over at Klein and then again shoots me a dirty look. I'm in, Liz shouts. Count me in, Silica says. Yep, me too, Sion adds on. Sounds like fun, Ruin chimes in. Then, it sounds like we have ourselves a quest. We're heading to the Cave of Wonders to get my darling wife a new wand, I say, throwing my fist in the air, as the rest do the same. What can I say? We love ourselves a good quest.
This chapter was written and read to you by Cosmic Dude 637. Now, make sure that you check out the playlist titled Storytime with Cosmic Dude 637, as you'll find all the chapters that Cosmic Dude has put on this channel. They all have their own separate playlists as well, if that's helpful to you. Now, on with the outro.
This podcast is a production of the Three Ranger Bros Studios, in association with Zio to Hero, the podcast.
Thank you very much for listening to this chapter. If you want to hear more fanfictions and storylines, I have plenty of other Tiger Tales channels that you guys should be checking out. I'm going to give you a list of all of them. There's Tiger Tales, the channel that started it all. There's Tiger Tales The Lost Stories, a channel dedicated to storylines with the first person view. Tiger Tales Game Over, a channel dedicated to video game storylines. Tiger Tales X, official crossover fanfictions on this channel. Tiger Tales Mysterious Origins, all my original storylines coming from myself go on that one. Then you have Tiger Tales One-Offs, a Tiger Tales channel dedicated to one-off storylines that have no continuation. We've also now expanded to podcasts, so make sure you check out everywhere you can listen to your podcast, the Fiction Fighters podcast, where you'll find a storyline called the Fiction Fighters, where fiction is power. I want to use this moment to thank all my supporters and the partners of Tiger Tales. First off, make sure you check out Cosplay Dude 637. I'm going to give you a quick rundown of all the places you can find him and where you can listen to his fanfictions. First off, there's Power Rangers Universe 19, a podcast dedicated to Power Rangers and Kamen Rider storylines. You'll also find a few of my stories on there too. Then, you also got Sailor Moon E, a Sailor Moon dedicated podcast storyline. Then you have The Order. Cosplay Dude 637's original storyline goes on this podcast. Then you have the One Piece audio drama YouTube channel, an audio drama dedicated to One Piece. Then you have Nostalgia Time, a YouTube channel dedicated to all fanfictions and storylines that are meant to make you feel nostalgic. You also have Marvel Universe 19, where you'll find Marvel related fanfictions. You can also find some of my storylines there too. Now, of course, me and Cosplay Dude 637 are part of a studio called the Three Ranger Bros Studios, so I'd like to mention the third member, Mark the Red Cornish Ranger, and his podcast, Naruto Comics, where he adapts comic books into audio dramas, and you can also find his original Power Ranger storylines there as well. A quick shout out to a few of my supporters. We have the If You Give a Dad a Podcast host Jared, make sure you check out his podcast, he interviews some amazing guests. The Zero to Hero podcast, the Bolt and Scholar podcasting, Billy and Jim, of course have been there since the get-go, so make sure you check out the Zero to Hero podcast. Some of my stories wouldn't be here without the Author's Crown YouTube channel's host, A Crown, so make sure you check out the Author's Crown YouTube channel with his fanfictions there. Now, if you'd like to hear me interview content creators about their content, or geek about specific topics with a bunch of geeks, make sure you check out the Tiger Nexus podcast. My podcast can be found everywhere you can find your podcast, and we have a great time. We usually upload on Mondays. Now, of course, make sure you check out the links down below. It'll lead you to some of my other channels. I game on YouTube, I do artwork on YouTube, and I like to talk about movies, TV shows, and comic books on YouTube. So make sure you go check out the other channels. A huge thank you to everyone watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and of course hit that notification bell so you don't miss another chapter. Roar of passion, everybody, and I shall see you guys in the next one.
That before we can...
Don't touch my Pringles.